All right, hey folks. So there's been some interest in what I'm doing now in terms of my training. So I quit the bro split, and that was after I finished my cut. So I did a fairly high volume bro split for my cut down to about 80 kilos, pretty lean. And now I'm sitting at about 83 in the morning after about 3 months. So I wanted to talk to you a bit about what I'm training now, what I'm doing, what my split is, and all that kind of stuff. So I took some video footage from the last training session I did on Friday. And so it was a back session, so let's check it out. All right, so I've muted the sound because it's mostly just crappy gym music and me grunting, so you don't want to hear that. So I thought I'll talk you through. This is a back day. I start with weighted chin-ups. And the idea for the weighted chin-ups, I've already warmed up and I've done pull-downs to warm up and also some bodyweight chins. So the idea was to go use 25 kilos on the weighted chin and to go to failure on the first set. So see, this is kind of like the level of difficulty. That was already a strain, and I go up, pause, and really squeeze. See, I'm shaking there as well. So that's the kind of level of effort that I'd like to train at. I've sped up, but I do a short rest period of about 15 breaths, so about 30 seconds, and then I do a drop set. So I went from 25 kilos, drop set into 10 kilos. So for you guys across the pond, that's like, I don't know, 55 pounds into 25 pounds, whatever. And then finally into body weight for a third set of a series of drop sets. So the main set, followed by a drop set, followed by another drop set. And I also like to do a static hold at the end. So over the course of those 3 sets, it's pretty intense. I've got first set of failure, second set of failure, third set of failure, also with a static hold on the third set. All of that in the space of about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. So pretty intense. Now, next exercise was the chest supported row. And that's me there looking absolutely jacked in a vest. And that's what I look like if I'm not sat at my desk. There we go. That's top set here. 3 plates and a 5. It's like 65 kilos, whatever that is across the pond. The idea here was to use full extension, really opening up the scapula and then pulling right back. And as you can see, that last rep there, really difficult. And do another drop set right down into the second set, resting about 15 breaths, going into this. Now, there's nothing massively special about the drop sets. I don't want you guys to think at home there's something magical about them. There's not. It just allows me to pack a lot of effort into one set. That's it, really. And it's what I need to progress. So if I don't need to do more, I don't need to do more. But I want to make sure the intensity is sky high, and then the volume basically falls where it does. I'm not that bothered about that, really. Mainly because if I build from a 65 kilo row to a 100 kilo row, 5 plates, then obviously I'm going to be much more jacked. So I don't really care. Now, you saw at the end of that, I did a static hold as well. And that's what I like to do. So I like to get, basically, I like to get the most out of every set. That's how I train. So I think that's something which I can't really stress enough. Is like, get the most out of every set. You only have a limited amount of work in the gym, and it's not just about going through the motions. You've got to actually put in a high degree of effort. It's not like cardio. Like cardio, just for calorie burning, is different. Like you can just move your body, right? When you're training for weights, it's a very specific type of stress that you've got to impose on your muscles. So this, I didn't record the machine rows. That was the third exercise. But so we skipped to the fourth exercise, which is neutral grip pull downs. Why do I do neutral grip? You know, you've heard a lot of stuff about the neutral grip being not that great for range of motion. Personally, I like it. It's a time-proven exercise variation, and it's a variation. A lot of times, so you'll see at the start of the session, I started with an underhand grip, fairly medium grip. Then I do this, neutral grip. I like this as well. I also do medium grip overhand. So I just vary things. I do a lot of exercise variation, but I'll talk about that later on when I talk about my split and break it down. So this was pull downs. Similar kind of thing here. I use a little bit of body lean back, but nothing excessive. And trying to go all the way to failure with this one. I'm strongest in about the kind of mid-range here. So you'll see when I do fail, like there's not really much else that happens after that. And then, yeah, a bit of a brief rest period before I go again. I drop the weight down a couple on the stack. And I just carry on going. I found that with this, I probably dropped the weight a little bit too much because you see the initial few reps are quite easy. So I might only need to drop the weight by 1 pin on the stack. You see my partner comes in a little bit early here. My training partner, he's a new training partner actually. Nice guy from the gym, just started chatting to him and decided to train together. But he kind of got the spot a little bit wrong there. I wanted to be spot on my third set. So rested a bit more. Then I did the third set here. Here we go. So there's a weird thing about pull downs that I find you'll see me not struggling as much on the pull downs, because I find with them, it's you go from just going full speed to just dying. There's very little, you see what I mean here? You just kind of die. There's very little actual slowing down. With the pull down for me, I kind of go, and then I die. You can't really sort of go and then slow down. It's more a case of you just go, and then you just die. With some exercises like the chest supported row, you can really kind of grind it out, or with the chins, you can really kind of triple it out. With the pull downs, I find I go and then I just die. So that's where you'll see I don't really struggle that much. I did try and do rather than a static hold, I just did some force reps on that last one. I like force reps, and again, it fits the paradigm for trying to get as much out of every set as possible. So with the last exercise there, you saw main set to failure, second set to failure, third set to failure with forced reps. So that's pretty intense, all with just about 30 seconds rest in between 15 breaths. This is the final exercise of the day. This is the rear delt machine. You see by this time I got a pretty decent pump going on in the back. And so this is what I did here. Reverse pec deck. I had already warmed up at this point, so I went straight in. Make sure to set the pins forward so they get a good range of motion. Pull them back. I think I did about 6 reps here. And again, it's quite nice because it means I can go heavy, because I'm doing rest pause and doing drop sets, and go heavy on the first set, and it doesn't really matter. Like, I wouldn't normally recommend people doing 6 reps for a reverse pec deck, but if you're doing drop sets, then it works out quite nicely. So rest of 15 seconds, did more drop sets here. There we go. I didn't want to do any force reps on this one, so my partner was coming in, but I failed there. And then the last set, he gives me a couple of force reps, which is what I like to do. I like to fit that in. By the way, I'm not really short. I'm like 5'11". This guy's just a giant. He's like 6'5" or something like that. He's an older guy at the gym. He's a super cool guy. But yeah, he's an absolute beast. I just thought I'd point that out in case you think I'm like a 5'5" or something. And so we managed to do a couple of force reps. And that was that. That was my back training session. It was about 5 exercises altogether. And then we're on repeat. So, all right. So I had a few notes to talk about here. So yeah, talk through the session. Overall layout is this. Now, my overall layout, my priority right now is to get really strong again. Okay, I felt like I lost some size during lockdown, which I'm still recovering. We've only been back at the gyms for a few months now. So I feel like I'm still kind of recovering that size I lost in 2020. So right now, I started, as we came out of lockdown, I initially went on a cut to try and strip some body fat off that I sort of gained as I lost muscle and gained fat. Because we were out at the gyms for a long time, apart from some sporadic sort of months here and there, we were out at the gym for a long time. And so I felt like I lost some muscle, but I also gained some fat. So I spent the first portion of the time we were allowed back in gyms to drop some body fat, got pretty lean, got down to about 80 kilos, maybe lost some muscle at that stage as well, I don't know. And now I'm looking to rebuild a little bit. So I'm doing 4 training days and 3 cardio days. That's the general layout. 4 training days, 3 cardio days. The general split is this. So going from the bro split, which was a 5-day thing and high volume, I'm moving down to a much more low volume thing with 4 training days, specifically more focused around strength development around the body. So first day on a Sunday is chest and biceps. Now, I like chest and biceps because it means that I don't get any kind of like overlap. So I've tried doing chest and triceps, or I've tried doing chest and shoulders, but there's so much overlap. Like you see the way I train, like I train really hard. After I've done a body part, I'm just so wrecked. If I do something which is related to that, I just can't lift as much weight, and not so much about the weight, but I just can't push myself that much, particularly if I'm going from like chest and shoulders to chest and triceps. I've got no endurance for those muscle groups. I've tried doing a full chest session followed by, say, overhead presses and upright rows and laterals. There's nothing there. So chest and bis works really well because it allows me to work on a body part which is still fresh. Mentally, I'm still able to go. Time-wise, I'm still good. but it means that the body part is fresh. So I'll do chest and biceps. Just means I need to warm up really carefully for biceps. Obviously, if you're going to go all the way out, then and the body part is fairly fresh, you want to make sure you warm up nicely. So chest and biceps on Sunday. That's the start of my week. And I do the little trick where I start my training on Sunday so I don't get caught up in the Monday rush. I shouldn't have told you guys that. That's my secret. So that's for like gym bros in the know. You know that actually chest day is Sunday because then you skip the Monday rush. Clever secrets. Monday, I just do cardio, mainly because Monday is my very busy day of work, as it is for most people. So I get in the gym, I just do an hour of cardio. Now, in terms of what I do, I don't really enjoy cardio. It's not something that I like doing. So I do it mainly for heart health because I am 40. I don't know how old I look, but I get told I don't look that old. This is not me blowing my own horn, by the way. This is just me pointing out that I do things for health because I am a little bit older. And I realize some of you guys are a lot older, so I understand that. But all I'm saying is some of you guys who are 20 and 30 and whatnot might think, okay, what's he doing that for? Well, actually, health is important as you get older. So I'm 40 this year and I want to maintain good health as I go into my 50s and 60s. So I try and do about 3 hours of cardio per week at the moment, and that's kind of where I'm at. So Monday is cardio day. I go in, I do an hour of cardio, and all I do is I just flip around all the machines. So I'm pretty lucky. The gym that I'm at has got a range of different cardio equipment. So I'll do 10 minutes on one, 10 minutes on the other. It's usually 10 or 20 minutes on the treadmill, incline treadmill, followed by 10 minutes on the stepper. The people call it different things, but the step mill. I really like that. It gets me sweating. And then I do another 10 minutes or so on the bike, then another 10 minutes on the elliptical trainer, and potentially 10 minutes on that sitting down one, which is quite easy. Sometimes I do the sitting down one after the step mill because it's so easy. So I just keep my mind stimulated, and then I watch a bit of TV. There's normally like a show on, like Countdown, or I listen to a podcast or something like that. So yeah, that's my general cardio day. So it's an hour of cardio. I just make the time go by and I get out of the gym. It's quite nice though, because mentally it's a lot less taxing than a weight training session. Weight training sessions with me are they're quite relative to cardio. They're quite emotionally draining because you put yourself out there so much. You really kind of get yourself up for the sets. So it's quite a nice, relaxing day. I can walk to the gym, go do my cardio, come back, and it's fairly relaxing. Get on with my day. Now, then on Tuesday, I train legs, and that is a session which is quite similar to this, except I'll record that if you guys like at some point. But I generally start off my leg training day with leg extensions and leg curls to pre-fatigue. Then I go into a big hitter, usually like a leg press or a squat. And then I do something with the hamstrings, Romanian deadlift, hyperextension, stiff leg deadlift. It's all pretty basic. And then a couple of calf exercises, and that's my leg day. On Wednesday, I will then go to delts and triceps. I love that day because it's kind of like an overhead press and dip day. Overhead press and dips together are money, so I love that. And again, in a very similar way, I warm up the area with isolation exercises, and then I go into my compounds. And on Friday, I train back, and that's my final day. So yeah, cardio is 3 days per week, which is Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, I think, but it's 3 days anyway. And training is 4 days per week. I don't have any rest days. That's not because I'm like team no days off. It's because, well, you guys know what I do. I sit at my desk quite a lot. So if I didn't go to the gym every day, I would be very sedentary. Occasionally I'll take days off, but it's just, that's more because I'm kind of like resting and deloading because I'm feeling a bit worn out. But generally I like to be active every single day. So yeah, training, we've done that. For my main focus for my cardio is heart health. My main focus for my training right now is rebuilding strength to rebuild mass, which I felt I've lost over the last couple of years. And when you're my age, guys, it gets a little bit slower. So the level of mass that I think when you've got more to lose, you know, it's easier to lose. It's more visible to lose that amount. So I feel like I've got some rebuilding to do to get to where I was in like 2019 or whatever. But to do that, a little bit leaner. So that's my general goal. That's my training broken down. If you have any questions about my split, pop them down below. You know, if you want to talk to me about it, that's great. And yeah, I'll hopefully find it interesting. I'll keep you guys updated. Actually, you know what you can do? If you liked seeing my training footage, because I don't talk about myself very much, mostly because I focus on my clients. But if you like seeing stuff about my training, then let me know. I'll do more. Like, I don't mind. If you want to see more of, you know, Faz, then sure, we can do that. So yeah, let me know. All right, guys. Speak to you soon. Take care. There I am. And there's me with my top off. That's what people want to see, isn't it?